It's your girl Kim, and I'm on the patio with my company, who is special. Respect Blak Makk, That Feeling Podcast Network CEO. What's up? How you
What's
doing?
up? What's up? How you doing?
Nothing. These people, I'm good. This if they ear hustle on this, I double dog dare them to because they gonna want to hear all this. What's up with the rant? What's up with the rant? You got to tell me what was going on.
So the rant is something that I've been doing. I've been doing the rant for Lord since I was in the military. So it's been a long time. So it's just something I do. Like if I see something, I felt compelled to like either write about it or speak about it. And it's random. It's random, but it's my thoughts. You know what I mean? So it's just something like if I want to speak on it, that's where I go to do it. And it's now on Patreon. So if you don't follow That Feeling Podcast on Patreon, please follow us on Patreon because there's a lot of exclusive stuff.
Yes.
I don't do the rant outside of Patreon. And there's a reason for it because I can just speak on whatever I want to speak on. But that's where I go to do the rant. So.
Oh, that's awesome. What's up. I might have to do something like that for myself because I know I be having some stuff to say. But I try and keep it cool. All that. But now, I watched the episode and you was blowing up about chicks and how I guess nowadays they say that they're not gonna suck dick or something like that unless a man do whatever. Yo, I was rolling. I was like, I gotta have him on my podcast so we can talk about this because that shit was bananas.
Let me clarify. So, in the Smoke Pit podcast, there's a list going out. Shout out to Rob Givens.
Shout out to the Smoke Pit.
Yep. Shout out to the Smoke Pit. Shout out to Rob Givens because he's the one that put that post up. And on that post, there was a list of things that women are going to be leaving in 2023. So in 2023, one of them, it was guys that say they just want to eat it. They're going to leave these guys. So I'm like, who does exactly? Your facial expression was my facial expression.
What you gonna leave
for? Right. This makes no sense. Like
who you going to?
Right. Who says no to this? Like that was my thing. Like
I ain't gonna lie. I used to tell dudes nah, I ain't into it or whatever. But that's because I had a bad experience one time. This dude was doing it, and I was like, yo, stop, get off me. You ain't doing nothing for me. And it kind of like blew his mind with some disrespect. And I was like, yo, it ain't good. And he was like, that's the first time I heard that. I was like, well, I don't know what them bitches was talking about, but I don't like it. And then he had a nerve to try and spend the night. I was like, yo, what you doing? He was like, oh, I can't stay. I was like, nah. You got to go.
on that note, everybody ain't good at it. Like, and that's the thing. Like, for some, it takes years of practice. Some people are just naturals, but everybody ain't good at it. Now, if everybody ain't good at it, and that's been your experience, I get that. But who says no to just like who you can't even experience it? Like, who's gonna say no right off the bat? Like, that was my thing.
You gotta know. You gotta know. Because I'm telling you what, a lot of them chicks to me that have had no like traumatic experience with sex and just say they like girls, it's because they didn't have a dude do it right and then dick them down. That's my experience. I'm just saying. I've never been with a chick, but I've known chicks that have been with chicks, and I'm like, you ever been with a dude? They was like, no. I said, a dude can do that and more. They was like, but they can't do it like a girl because a girl know a girl. I was like, whatever.
I mean, on that note, like, if we're gonna play that card, like, I got to go down this road. So I'm going to say pause before I even go there. So a guy knows their body, but we ain't asking guys, you know what I mean, like to do that for us. You know what I'm saying? Like there has to be some level of teach me involved because we're not going to just go down there and know. Like the average guy doesn't know the anatomy of it. That's just the fact. The average guy doesn't know the anatomy of it. So teach them. Don't just shun them.
Each woman is different. Each woman likes a different way of it being done. Right. So, but some women are not comfortable with their own body that they don't want somebody to explore. I do know that because I get
that. But just say that. Just say that. But that's what I went off in a rant about. Like, just say that. Like, if you have some uncomfort with your own body, please let this be known. Don't just have us out here looking stupid. You know what I mean? Like, because and the way I put it is, a guy don't say that to you unless they feel like you're special. Because the average guy just ain't like doing that. It's for us. It's like it's almost an emotional act. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, I like this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like.
You're not just gonna do it.
Yeah, let me secure this bag. This is my way of securing the bag because I like you. You know what I mean? So if that comes out of a guy's mouth, you can bet your ass 9 times out of 10 there's some feelings involved in it. You know what I mean? So if you just say no, that's just like shooting a plane now. Like, come on, come on.
Like he ain't been doing it, now he doing it. So. What's the problem? That's telling you
because I like you. You know what I mean?
I'm in there. I'm in there. But nah. Nowadays, though, some dudes, that's not what it means to them. Some dudes just do it because they like to do it.
I don't know. That's another thing I said in the rant too. Like if I'm ever, because I'm married. You know what I mean? If I'm ever single again, I'm just gonna stay to myself. Because this new generation on some whole other shit. They on some whole other shit. I'm scared. I'm scared. Like just the thought of jumping back out there, like, nah.
I'm out there. I've been single for years. I'm just starting to try and branch out, and I'm like, man, fuck this shit.
Yeah, let me stay faithful. Let me stay in this relationship. Let me give my all to this shit. Y'all tripping out here. I don't want to go nowhere near that fence because they shooting people on the other side of that motherfucker. I don't want to go.
I'm all set. I'm like, damn, I'm 47 years old. What way do I go? Down or up? And then I got 9-year-olds. So, you know, going up, you like got they grandbabies. Right. Going down, they at that stage where they like, well, my kid's like 14. So I don't really want to go back down some more.
Right.
But anyway, back to the subject. Man, I found some dudes that they just like to do that, and I'm like, but why? Like you don't know me like that.
I think the value of the moment has been lost through time.
Oh, for sure.
The value of what you're doing has definitely been lost.
Oh,
and I don't even know where that came from. I mean,
they selling each other to each other.
Yeah, you mean like you could blame social media for that, but at the end of the day, like that type of stuff has been around. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of stuff is more accessible. Like the information to everything is more accessible. Right. But I think the value of the moment has been. It don't mean what it used to mean. You know what I mean?
Right. There's no romance. There's no intimacy. It's just, hey, she look good. I look good. We look good together. Let's go do this. And
yeah, let me show you what I learned on Pornhub. You know what I mean? Like that's what the moment is now. It's sad, but that's where it is.
Right. And if you then you realize like, I'm natural, and everybody out there wearing whoever hair, and I've had extensions and stuff like that, but I've never had that like whole cap thing that they do, them lace fronts or whatever. then the eyelashes and the extra whatever and the lips and the BBL. I don't got no time to be. Mm-mm, mm-mm. If you can't take me as I am.
I don't get that either. I don't get that either. Because I don't know. It's I don't even know where that came from. I guess everybody's trying to look like Kim Kardashian, and then it spiraled out of control because they don't know who they're trying to look like now.
I'm just saying, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you?
Exactly.
You didn't have no insecurities before these people came out. So why have them? Why have them now?
And I don't know. I don't know. And maybe it's a society thing to where like this is what's in. Yeah. So everybody's
their culture is different than our culture.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Most definitely.
I'm scared for when we become the elders. I'm like, these mugs we're gonna be running the country. Oh hell no.
Yo, the day I'm a grandparent is gonna be the scariest day in American history. That is gonna be one scary day.
I'm so happy my oldest son is not ready for none of that.
You know what's funny is like I have kids that are old enough to where, you know, I have one that's in college and I have one that's 17, you know, and I don't see that in them. And I constantly look for it, and I'm glad I don't. But it just makes me worry. You know what I mean? Like, what's gonna happen down the line? You know what I'm saying? Like, I always worry about that.
My oldest, he's 25. So just the 16-year difference between the two, I'm losing my mind because I'm like, okay, I'm already worried about when the 25-year-old decides to go out. Luckily, he's a homebody, so I'm blessed with that.
Yeah, that's my oldest one.
He's an introvert. The 9-year-old, he's an extrovert. He want to go everywhere, and I'm like, I worry about when he get older and what that's gonna look like. I'm like, oh my goodness, these motherfuckers here.
You have to shank somebody, I swear.
Right. I'm like, oh no. I'm
gonna have to shank someone. And that sucks.
Right. That'll make you want to drink. If you don't drink, you'd be like, oh Lord. Right. I need a shot today. Don't come with the shit. Just go home. Don't come with the shit.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, it's crazy out there. Dating, oh my goodness.
I don't know.
I've been on a date once recently, and I had a great time. But that was the first date I've been on in I don't know how many months.
Really?
I do not. I used to be an extrovert. I'm trying to get back to it, but I'm an introvert.
Did the pandemic have anything to do with that? I'm just curious.
No, it just made me more of an introvert. I started being an introvert in 2016, and then it just progressed from there. For a while, I was an extrovert, and then I just regressed and was like, no, I can't do it. I can't do it. If people wasn't out there peopling.
Oh no, you are absolutely correct. People do people, and I've noticed with myself too. It's harder for me to be out in crowds now, and that's been since the pandemic though. Like it's harder. Safe. Well, not necessarily that I don't feel safe. It's the fact that I haven't been around people in so long that now that I'm out and amongst people, like I don't feel comfortable anymore.
Right, because you get the level of confidence there. Yeah, people watching, then you see that their habits have gone back to whatever their habits was before the pandemic, and you like, ugh, you just sneezed on your hand and you about to touch something. I'm not going in that area now. I'm like, I need to leave the whole store,
right,
so that I can go get what I need to get because you might have contaminated everything I want to get.
That's true. That's true. Like grapes. You know how long it took me to like, and I love grapes. You know how long it took me to eat grapes again? Like just to feel comfortable bringing them home. Because I'm like, I know you motherfuckers be eating them shits like right out the grocery store, like right off the display. And I didn't touch grapes for a long time. And it's like, I love grapes, but I'm not going to eat them. Like a lot of produce.
Right.
Like I know y'all be like feeling them and touching them, and I don't know who's safe, who's not. I know they got that little water jet that comes on every 30 seconds, but I don't even trust that. You know what I mean? Like,
right. Because it's just to keep them fresh. It's not to keep them clean.
Exactly.
And now you Googling what you need to do when you get home to clean them good.
Yes.
Yo. Next thing you know, you got wine.
Exactly. Yeah, it took me a minute. But yeah.
I get it. See, I was always wanting seafood. I go there and I'm like, what? I gotta pay $100 for like 2 pounds of crab legs? You gotta be kidding me. And they snow crab, not Dungeness or some king crab legs. You fucked up. You know you done fucked up, right?
Fact.
No, but as far as fresh stuff, I normally like to make salads and stuff. So going over to the produce aisle and you looking at the lettuce and the cucumbers and you like, it's not bagged.
Right.
It's not sealed. I don't want it.
The dude came out there with the little cardboard box and just started throwing them in there. Like, nah.
Now you looking at the bag salads like they funny.
Yeah, nah, we good. I'm not touching that.
Right. Like they already had salmonella. And I think they just put this stuff out so that they can have something else like a influenza.
I hope not. Because man,
I mean, think about it. When they give you the flu shot, they don't know what strand of flu is going to be out there. And normally the strand that's out there isn't part of the strand that they gave you.
Right.
So you still end up with the flu.
Yeah, that is true. You can still, because I think the strand, they're like one or two behind the current strand.
Right. So now they got all these different variants of COVID. And if you
I don't know, whatever one that came out this year, that was the big bad booty daddy. That one did some damage.
I ain't get it.
I got it.
Oh no, I lied. Oh no, it's 2020. I ain't get it.
No, I got that one. I was good.
I only got 2 shots. I didn't get no boosters. I'm like, I don't know. I haven't even gotten the shot yet. As friends have gotten it, and I'm just his immune system. So I don't think he should get it.
And that's what they're saying. Like if you have that's what they're saying. If your immune system is good, you don't necessarily need it. But.
Shout out to Sean Bird for commenting. Preach Kim. Yes, you know it.
Yeah, man.
And these oof. I don't even like I don't like my son's friends coming in the house. He got like 1 or 2 kids that can come in the house. And so they come to the door and they be like, can he come out? I be like, I got to spray outside. I got to spray with Lysol. I'm spraying outside air.
Yep. Now that's how I think that's how I've become is like that. It's like I don't really like people in here. I don't like sleepovers. Ain't nobody sleeping over here. Don't be hanging out up in here. Like I gotta check the perimeter. Because and that really started after I got it. Like because I was cool with them having company because they're kids. I mean, you know what I mean? Like they're kids. They gotta be kids. Even though we got this horrible shit going around, like I still want them to have the experience of, I have my friends, I can hang out with my friends. that type of thing. Once I got sick, I was like, nah, shut all that shit down.
See, I got sick. Before we went on our cruise, we was good to go. We got back from the cruise. My cousin said, hey, my daughter got it, so get tested. I did the home test. My little one didn't have it. I had it. But it was like a Monday I found out I had it, and then by Friday, I ain't have it no more. So I was like, okay. But it wasn't like shakes and all that. I felt worse when I got the shot.
Yeah, you had a mild case.
Yeah. Now, I'm sitting in my room bored as a motherfucker, like.
Like the one I had the shakes, and it was just like I was chilling. I was at work too, chilling, like doing work, being productive. Like I'm like, oh yeah, it's Thursday. Let me just go ahead and wrap this shit up for tomorrow. Right. You know what I mean? Like, and then boom, and it just hit. And then I went from like being productive to like, what the fuck just happened? And I'm like at my desk, like, what the fuck?
Right.
And like fever, like instant fever. And like it was just like, man, I got the shakes, I got the chills. I'm like, dude, I don't know what the fuck just happened. You know what I mean? Like I'm at my desk confused, like I was just feeling good. What the hell just happened?
Like I ain't eating no edibles.
Yeah, it was like that. It was like, bro, what just hit me? It was like, and I went home. I was like, I got to go because I gotta lay down. And I went and took a test. I have like 8 tests at home, and then I took one, and it was like positive. I was like, damn. That's crazy. And then it just got worse and worse and worse. And then by nighttime, I was in my bed like, God, just take me. You know what I mean? Like,
oh, damn.
Get me out of here.
I don't want it. I
don't want this no more.
Keep that. I don't want it.
I don't want it. Like, keep it. Like, can't breathe. My nose all clogged up.
Oh,
like
no.
I'm doing like I had a neti pot, and it's like one of those little teapots. Put saline in it, and then you just put like I was doing that shit all night.
Oh no!
Like every 15 minutes, I'm just like, and just,
how you sleeping?
I couldn't. That first night was the worst.
Now you're
I'm like, dude, this is horrible.
Oh no.
This is worse. And for anybody that's ever been to Korea, like they know about the crud. Right. The crud is the bar of which you set how sick you are after you have it. I felt worse than having the crud. And I was like, yeah, this is I don't want this shit no more. If I don't get this ever again, I'm fine. And that was the third time I caught COVID, but that was the worst.
Oh no.
The other 2 were just like mild.
Well, if it counts, after I got the second vaccine, I was feeling like that. And then, the mild case I had, that's it. Nobody else had it.
Oh wow.
Nobody else had it.
Just me and my wife had it. And me and my wife and one of the kids had it. And that was it. But the kid was fine. He was just like, I'm positive, and he had no symptoms. Me and my wife was like, y'all better get y'all lives in order because we ain't sure we're gonna be around here.
We ain't gonna make it. Oh
damn. Get the beneficiaries right. Y'all better
like the wheel straight.
Yeah.
It's stupid.
We ain't too positive about this one.
Ooh, yeah, I don't want it. If it's like that, I don't want it.
Yeah, it was rough.
No. But yeah. So how you feel? I know this is a whole off random topic, but I figure it's the rant, so we can talk about whatever fuck we want.
Yeah.
How you feel about weed being legalized like state to state versus just the whole federal government doing it?
Real shit, I think it should be legalized federally. But I think before you do that, you need to revisit every case in which you have someone locked up for a nonviolent weed charge.
I think that's why they pushed it on the states.
Yeah. Man, I don't, and this is why I don't agree with that. Is because you have states like Texas, states like Louisiana, they're never going to legalize it. They're never going to. The reason being is because a majority of the states in the South, they get a lot of their free labor off the backs of these types of cases. So when you have that, you make it harder for these states to legalize it. Also, if you look at cases like Colorado per se, Colorado was the first state to legalize it. They've been doing well. And I don't think Louisiana would be put in a position to where they would successfully want to pass off that type of power, because you may have someone that moves in and then take all that, money that the state is making and they take it for themselves. I don't think they're necessarily inclined to get rid of that type of power. That's just me looking at it from an overall standpoint. I do think it needs to be legalized federally first.
That did it. I thought Virginia would be one of the last states, but they did it for recreational. Don't kick in until next year, but they've done it for medical, and they actually have dispensaries.
Right.
So I was surprised about that, because this state they pop them left and right.
No, I agree.
They got the gang violence around here too, so you taking they money.
But this is where I agree with states like Virginia doing it, right? Because if you make it legal, you kind of take away some of that power from people like gangs, to where now they have a legitimate reason to go out here and make a business. You know what I mean? You do take there is a give and take. They wouldn't have to do illegal activity if you gave them this and you say, here, you can make money off of it. Now you've kind of decriminalized it, and you've put more money into people that don't have to steal, and now that money is going back into the economy. That I agree with. And that's just me looking at it from a different angle, because a lot of people like to criminalize like gangs and not necessarily the cartels. That's different. That's
right, because they go crazy.
That's way different. But like the gang activity, a lot of the gang activity is because a lot of these people are from impoverished places, and they don't have the means to do that. Well, if you give them this and you give them a means to, make money legally, I think a lot of people would be inclined to jump on that boat. And who knows, we'll maybe see that in states like Maryland and Virginia, who just made it legal. We may see a change out of those two states.
It also takes their mentality to change. They got to have one of those strong leaders that can say, hey, I understand we used to doing it this way, but let's go legit and do it this way. Let's make it work for us.
True.
Versus,
that is true. That is true.
But so many of them are just stuck that that's all they think about. That's all they know. It's been so inbred into their minds that they can't get out of it.
Right. And that is very true. With that, it's going to have to come a change in mentality. But I think as a gesture of goodwill, if you make weed legal federally and then you go back and revisit some of these cases, well, not some, all. Revisit every case that you have someone locked up for a nonviolent drug offense, and then you revisit that, you give these people clemency, and then we start fresh. Right. I think that's a really good gesture of goodwill.
Yeah, but the federal government, they we need them to do all they weeding on their own, and then when we get enough of the population across the board flipped, then we'll come in and say, okay, because the state still gotta pay the federal government for doing it.
Well, there's a bill right now in the Senate that was never signed that I think in 2018 or 2019. It's been there and it hasn't been signed, but there's a bill ready to be signed for weed to be legal federally. It just never was signed. And I think it may have to go back through the House again.
It'll probably have to be rewritten or revised.
Yeah, or revised, yeah.
So yeah. But it is what it is on that. Anything you wanna bring up?
No, you know what? This is actually my first podcast back. So,
word.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're doing better. I'm glad.
Yeah, thank you. For those who don't know, I had surgery. I had been stressing the shit out of myself. So I had to have surgery on my nose. And I was out for a while. So if you hear me sniffling, that's why. I'm still dealing with some of the effects of it. Like my nose lining is still trying to redo itself. So yeah, it's been fun. But
I had no surgery, so I know what you're talking about.
Yep.
At first, I was just sitting there talking. I could be breathing, and you could hear whistling, and everybody like, "What is that?"
Yep, that's been me. So throughout the podcast, you may have heard me going like sniffling really hard. So yeah, that's why. But yeah, I'm happy to be back. Thank you guys for holding down the fort while I've been recovering, and it's been dope to see. We're gonna start this new season out this month. Me and Mac are going to be back in the same place at the same time on the 27th for that Friday's edition of the Smoke Pit. So stay tuned for that. Me and No Gimmicks are going to be kicking off on the 28th because we'll be in the same place at the same time on the 28th. So I'm just happy to be back in and ready to rock this season. I think this season we set it up to be a great season with the addition of the Patio. Been a dope podcast. This is episode number 6?
Yes.
So by the time January 29th rolls out, all 6 episodes will be out on all streaming platforms. So you guys can go get that. Episode 1 is actually out on all streaming platforms right now. The pilot episode. Okay. So go check that out. Spotify, Google, Apple. Just search The Patio with Kim and subscribe to the podcast because it's dope. She talks about a lot of dope stuff. So yeah, go follow. We also have the Burrowbreads making their DFPN debut on the 29th. So we're starting 2023 out with a bang, man. I'm very excited, very happy to be back, and thank you for having me on the show, Kim.
I am honored to have you on the show. You was on my first one. You were on the first one of the year. You know, This is the year of success. We doing it.
Yep.
The whole DFPN. So I thank you so much for coming. And you are my first live show. So that's even greater. Yep. I thank everybody who came through to watch. And if you didn't, I hope you do watch it one of these days and you love it and you keep watching. Subscribe to any one of our podcasts on That Feeling Podcast Network because it's dopeness. And we out.
All right.
And yo